Here.
Yes, that was a very
More ice cream.
aesthetic ice cream too. Like it almost
Yes.
looked like fake. It's good.
Instagram it.
Really good
I
on a
want
day
ice
like
cream.
this.
She probably did. She probably Instagrammed it.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, we've got some storms out there. Good news, not many of them none of them actually have been severe in the state of Maine so far. Southern New Hampshire has seen a tornado, and that's what we've had out of the outbreak right now. Here's a look at the radar, and you can see there is a line, but it's just not really doing a whole lot. You know, as these come into Maine, we were waiting to see if they would have any rotation or any strong straight line winds. There's a lot of shear in the atmosphere, but so far they haven't reacted well to that. And I think it's because they weren't well developed enough, the storms, as they move through New Hampshire. And so we talked about conditional instability, a conditional severe weather threat yesterday, and a lot of that condition was, can we get some sun? And we didn't get much. It took till late in the afternoon. At that point, I think it was too late. You wanted to see these storms almost supercell-ish in New Hampshire, and that has not happened. So I think our threat is rapidly diminishing. We will still see some showers and storms through the rest of the afternoon into the early evening, especially in the mid-coast and down East Maine. But by 8 or 9, we should be done with most of these. Temperatures drop into the mid-60s. And then our story tomorrow is that it's hot and humid. Some dew points are already in the mid-70s, so we're going to kind of hang out there, plus the temperatures in the upper 80s, air temperatures, to around 90, and the heat indices will be in the mid-90s easily tomorrow afternoon. Some people like it, other people struggle with it, so just be aware of that. That's how tomorrow afternoon looks. It's the last hot day for a while, and then let's talk about Saturday. Saturday is a tricky one because the models have a front coming through. We know that. The question is essentially, as this front moves towards the coastline on Saturday, does it get some enhancement from the ocean and turn into rain? Not just showers, but rain. And this model, and a couple of small scale models like this, don't do a whole lot with that front. So here we are Saturday morning, midday Saturday, and then here comes the rain. But that's late afternoon, early evening, which isn't a bad day. So I've trended the forecast drier through the first half of the day with showers and storms in the second half of the afternoon. So it is not a washout. It doesn't look as wet as it did before. So that's with that front coming through. That front, by the way, will provide us some actually cooler and drier air Sunday. I think Sunday is going to be a really nice day because dew points are down, temperatures still in the mid-70s, and we kind of ride that into next week. So you watch the old muggy meteor here, boom, off a cliff into the 50s and perhaps even lower. I think, could be wrong, but I think that this line won't do anything if it goes below 50, but it's probably down into the 40s briefly there Monday and Tuesday. So crisp-ish, and that'll help our overnight lows as well. Next week looks solid. If you have it off, if you can take any time off still, I would do it. Looks really good. I think this is kind of where Mainers like to be at, mid-70s and a lot of sunshine in there. One more hot, humid day for us sickos like me who like it hot. But next week is great too. I mean, look, next week's good for doing stuff. We're talking about like painters, roofers. Although roofers will do a roof in like 3 hours before a rainstorm. But
yes.
You know, if you
Very
have
true.
stuff where you really can't risk it being
Wet.
next week looks good. There's really very little activity there.
With all the moisture we've had to dry things out a little bit, I
Yes,
think
that's the
we'll
other
be-
thing.
Yeah.
My lawn will start showing what it really is soon.
All right. Thanks, Keith.